So in this video, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be watching a video about a man who loves his car. And just stay tuned. I'm going to talk a little bit about the intro and what he is known for and what a mechaphile really is. But if you do want to skip forward just to the video, I will have a timestamp in the description. So, everyone in the world has had a weird stage in their life, one where they did arguably questionable things. I feel like that is normal for a lot of people. Now, what we're going to talk about today is mechaphiles. A mechaphile is a rare and unusual uh, term. It is rare and unusual within people, and mechaphiles they do occur within society and they seem to occur around the world, and it doesn't seem to be tied to any specific culture. Now, although mechaphilia is an extremely rare and unusual behavior, it what it basically is the sexual attraction to objects and mechanical equipment. It- Yet it's not specifically specified as a mental health problem, but something is generally gone awry in a lot of these people's lives, including some of which include trauma and other things. So, why am I talking about mechaphilia today? Because mostly the targets are cars and airplanes and helicopters. And if this seems odd to you, that's a good thing because it should. So, who we're going to talk about today is a man named Edward Smith. And Edward Smith he is a mechaphile and he is interested in cars, which is surprising to me, right? Surprisingly. Being a mechaphile is actually against the law. And let me clarify here, it's against the law because a lot of mechaphiles, what they do is basically they'll be rubbing up on a car and they kind of just like do their thing next to the car, if you understand what I'm saying, if you catch the drift here. And oftentimes it is in public with most of them. We're going to be watching this video about Edward Smith, and basically what he talks about is how he lost his virginity to his neighbor's Volkswagen Beetle at the age of 14, and he has claimed to have sex with over 700 cars, as well as some helicopters and airplanes. And he's now fallen in love with a car with another Beetle that he calls Vanilla. Vanilla is his girlfriend, and says he has a deep love and would be devastated if he ever crashed. And I guess this video goes into some of the things he does with this attraction. So let's get right into it. All right, so yeah, let's just get into it.
It's continuous, sincere, affectionate, and yes, sexual.
Keep in mind in this part he is still talking about a car, right? We're just gonna put that right away. But on first glance, does he look like someone who would love his car? I think the answer is yes. He got that car shirt. He's ejaculated on that many a time. But let's just not think too much about that one.
Expression of love.
Over the last 45 years,
Hold on, I'm gonna go back. Oh, give me a sec. I'm gonna frame forward here. Jesus. So this is his car named Vanilla, and this is like cinnamon or something.
over the last 45 years, Edward Smith has had nearly 1,000 lovers.
Uh, let me tell you something. I watched, and I'm going to show you part clips from the documentary that was done about him. But in the documentary, it describes him like a sex fiend. So it's like, let me put this in perspective. If he loved humans the same way he loved cars, he would be in jail for the rest of his life. You know. So it's like if cars were humans, he would be a rapist. But since he likes cars, it's kind of like I don't know, you know.
But only one has been a
But the
woman.
principle
The
seems
rest
weird.
have been cars. The 63-year-old from Yale,
Also, the documentary doesn't say that he ever had one woman lover, so kind of doubt, you know.
Washington, is a self-confessed mechaphile, meaning he is sexually attracted to machines.
Also, he's balding real bad. Like I don't want to be that guy, but like honestly, nowadays it's like sometimes I'll just be minding my own business, and what some guy with this cut comes out. He has like the blonde hair, but bald on the top, and has that cap on. It's like somehow I just don't trust those. You know, I just don't trust them somehow. Sorry, water break. But yeah, and I don't know what the scene was here. They were just like just start kissing your car, or like what were the instructions? Go crazy, do what you normally do.
He says his conquests have included Mustangs, Jaguars, even TV helicopter Airwolf.
Some guys look at boobs and buns of beautiful women, and I look at this and see what they might feel. I first developed an attraction to cars and helicopters in about 1965.
It is truly just like a very weird story. So I'm gonna recap a little bit from the documentary that I did watch about him, and some parts of the documentary basically say he always loved cars as a kid. Like he loved cars, but then he started like really loving cars, right? And I believe he did mention some of the movies that he watched were like Herbie, what is it, like The Love Bug or something? um, Kit, which humanized cars for him to an extent to where they were almost like kind of human. And also, he said the Stingray played a large part in him developing a weird like relationship with cars. But one of the things is that when he was just a child, right, when he was like, maybe 15, he was starting to like age into like puberty and shit like that. As you know, like people are just like, okay, I'm gonna just rip the band-aid off real quick. So he thought cars looked good. He started masturbating to cars, and it just got worse as he grew older. All right, ripped off the band-aid. All right, let's go.
Every kid at that age awakens to their libidinal energy.
Oh, I think he's better describe it.
It's part of life. So,
No, he's
but
not.
with me, it was intense and certainly different.
Certainly different doesn't always mean good. Like, imagine if it was anything else, right? Imagine if it was the family dog, right? Like, I don't want to be that guy, but it's not that far from the story, right? He had developed the attraction as a child. It could have been anything. Lucky for us, it was a car, right? So, I just sometimes I like to think it's like, damn, that could have gone real wrong. This is one of those cases where it's like, shit, we dodged a real bullet there. Like an actual, he could have been an actual like zoophile, which I do not like zoophiles.
At least.
After losing his virginity to a neighbour's Volkswagen Beetle, Edward went on to sleep with hundreds of vehicles. But now Edward says his wild days are over, and he's ready to commit to his long-term lover, Vanilla, a second-hand VW Beetle he bought 30 years ago.
When I hold Vanilla in my arms,
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story about this car. So I've done a little bit of digging on this guy, and basically how he found this car was there was a Jehovah's Witness. I kid you not, there was a Jehovah's Witness like minister or person going door to door, right? He was driving this Beetle named this white Beetle, right? This guy, he saw the Beetle and he was like, "Wow, what a beautiful Beetle." So, anyways, he's going to buy a car a couple months later, and he finds a car that looks almost the exact same at the lot. And he goes and checks the license plate, which I guess he remembered from that Jehovah's Witnesses church member or something. And he was like, "Damn, it's the same car." And I guess there's a bumper sticker on it or something that says like "You can lick me because I'm vanilla" or something. I don't remember, but that's how it I guess got its name.
there's powerful energy that comes from her in response to that.
And part of the reason is like, I guess it's like those Shungite rocks, like that energy, you feel vibrating off the
If
car.
anything would ever happen to her, I'd be more than heartbroken.
Edward also keeps two other lovers, a 1973 Opel GT called Cinnamon
I like the Lightning McQueen in there.
and a
That's
1973
quite
Ford Ranger called Splash, but Vanilla is his number one. He even takes them
Got a
on
whole
romantic
harem.
dates.
There we go. Well, Vanilla, how you doing? I love you, Vanilla.
There has
I don't think Vanilla likes you sitting on her mouth very much.
been little scientific study
I
into
forgot his name,
mecophilia, but Edward claims to share his passion with more than 500 other enthusiasts on an online forum. Despite Edward's alternative lifestyle, he's made
Yeah, so also one of the things how he became to be known is that he originally had like no one had ever known because he did this on his private property and shit like that. But the small crew apparently found who was doing a documentary, the one that I mentioned. I'll probably put it in the description, but they were doing when they were doing this documentary, they stumbled upon this forum of mechaphiles. They contacted a couple mechaphiles and they declined the interview. Then they found this guy. This guy was like, I've never talked about it before, but sure. And it's crazy. Like I guess he was like fully like he showed him, what he does. I'll let you think about that one.
many friends, including long-term neighbour Sarah.
He's a wonderful soul. He's been a great neighbor to me. And if he's found something that makes him happy, then that makes me happy.
After
Based.
years of experimenting,
Ex-
Edward says
well, when I said based, I mean like as long as it doesn't harm anyone else, I guess it's okay.
he's relieved to have finally
Including animals and I think you know. All right, I'm gonna stop pausing. Just listen to
found
me.
the solid relationship he has craved for so long.
There's something about Vanilla that I can't fully express on an emotional level, except that it's very powerful, very sincere. I try to be private about it. But still, never ever ashamed. I love her and would never want anything to happen to her.
And while Edward admits that Porsches and attack helicopters will always ignite his old urges, he is more than happy to be settling down with Vanilla and spending many more happy days and nights together.
He puts a different meaning on I love my bug. Let me tell you what. That's it for this video, but I'm gonna cut to the other video that we will be looking at. I guess like partially we're gonna be looking at a couple clips of it. All right. This right here is what I was talking about when I said lick me, I'm vanilla. This is the plate that wasn't shown in the other 3-minute video. This is a 45-minute documentary. I'll be skipping through it. If you want to watch the full thing, I will probably remember to link it down in the description.
Vanilla Beetle of 74, your creamy body I adore. Flesh and metal, overwhelm, man and car become one. When you're parked in my yard, where my sun sets, freed from the light of day.
Anyways, yeah, that's enough of the song.
Jordan is only 20, and unlike Edward, just beginning to explore mechaphilia.
Anyways, this part right here is like about it segues into other characters of in this forum, and it really does begin to show give me a sec. But as you continue watching, you realize that it's like, God, like, I don't want to be that guy, but it's like, it's just the principle of it is very weird because obviously there's no consent because it's a goddamn car, right? Like, there is no consent involved in that. It's a one-person thing. And then the thought comes to it is like, is it self-satisfaction because it's a car? Or is it still a sexual act because he considers the car like a person? And in this sense, I am stuck. But regardless, I think this is about as much I'll talk about this topic. I just fell in this loophole after I saw a video about it, and I was like, holy shit, I have to make a video about this. And yeah, I did make the video, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about this, check out the documentary below. And if you want more videos like this, comment down below. And yeah, I think that'll be it. Have a good day.